Hey, good evening. It's Rick here from 7 July from Rock Island. There's something I want to talk about tonight. It's kind of a drizzly late afternoon. Kind of get dark outside after being beautiful today. Something I want to talk about that's actually quite disturbing, I guess you can say. Something that I see last couple of years. I see it throughout different people, different friends sometimes, and people in general. Some people I think are actually fooled by this, and I feel bad. Other people are just arrogantly dead set on this for some reason. I think it's really bothering this nation, and it's really hurting this nation. That's basically the Trump Deranged Syndrome. What I mean by that? Well, as I said before, I'm not a Trumper, okay? I think Donald Trump did a fantastic job as a president when he was in. Things were great in this country. Of course, COVID put a curveball, but that's not his fault. He was doing a great job. I loved what he did for this country. Do I worry about his personality or this personal stuff? Look, every politician has some dirt. The Bidens, Obamas, Clinton, Bushes, everybody has dirt. That should have nothing to do with the man running the presidency. And Donald Trump did a great job. Now, whether he gets the nomination or he doesn't or he wins the election, I don't know right now. And I don't even care right now. What I'm tired of is every time you bring up the reality of what's going on right now with the administration right now that's been in for 2.5 years. And you just bring up facts and things that are disturbing about our leader in office that can't even walk, can't even talk. The economy just blowing up apart in a bad way. And all you hear is from the left, Trump's bad. Trump. It's a terrible way to argue, first of all, or debate. Okay? If you notice, the left wing is very smart. They know that there's problems right now with the economy. The leaders know that. Okay? But they don't address it directly. So they start having people, a lot of ignorant people, hate Donald Trump as if that has anything to do with what's going on right now. To the point where, despite middle-class America getting really, really reamed right now, and a lot of people suffering, and are going to suffer more in a year and a half, a lot of people will vote if Biden gets in or whoever just because they hate Donald Trump because CNN has told them to hate him. They don't even know a lot of his past or care. They've been told to hate him. He's bad and he's this and that. Totally ignoring the reality of what's going on right now and how the middle class are really getting reamed. Okay? Built back better. What? Ever since the difference between when Trump was in and this administration in 2.5 years, 20% hike in food costs average everywhere in the country. And it just keeps getting worse. I know I do food shopping everywhere. A friend of mine at work said he has 2 kids. They do $1,500 a month in food shopping. He goes, I don't know how I'm going to keep it up. Food, which is essential. Okay? And other people I know have been complaining. My wife and I spend well over $300 a week. Wife and I. Cost of housing. All around. If you already have your house, well, good for you. But a lot of people don't. They're looking for apartments. The rentals, especially in different areas like New England and out west, way out west in California, through the roof. Housing costs. The prices plus the interest rates. You're talking 2% to like 7%. 2% average when Trump was in at the end. Now it's around 6.5% to 7%. Do you know how much of a difference that is in your loans over the years? Vehicles. Just before this guy got in office, they had 0.9%. Less than 1%. Now that same car, 6%, 7%. Same vehicle. And the prices are higher. Right? I mean, this is serious stuff. Everything. The gas prices are average $2 more. Airline tickets, vacation places, hotels, even pet stuff, food and litter, everything. Everything. Restaurants, everything. There's not one aspect where something hasn't really gone crazy. Not one tax break, nothing. But yet, Donald Trump. The border, don't even go there. Oh, Trump was separating people. Trump was trying to do the right thing and making sure people come in properly and safely. And he had that happening. Now, kids are being taken with their mothers or separated. Talk about separating. They're being trafficked for work, sex, and everything else you can imagine. Their lives are being destroyed. Drug cartels run the rampant over there. It's dangerous for the people in here. People can easily come over the border. That's not Trump's fault. But this is all you hear. But this is reality of what's happening in this country, and it's not pretty. And it's not going to, if you think it's going to get better, this contingency of people, there's three types on the left. Those who are so woke, and all they care about is woke. Abortions and homosexuality and all this other, that's all they care about. Nothing else. To the point where they don't care if the economy goes down. But some of those people are kids getting out of school who haven't gotten a reality of life yet. They don't know the difference. Or people with a lot of money that are a little older, that have a lot of money. So to them, it doesn't matter. This is not affecting them. Okay? And those who somehow think, the third part, that somehow think that are getting affected, but somehow have this fantasy that even though it's been 2.5 years, Biden has a plan. Within the next year and a half, as he sings, and if he wins the next election, he's going to fix everything. Yeah, why don't you go live in Disney World? Because that's the reality where your mind is. It's not happening, people. What you're seeing is what's going to keep happening. This is a very aggressive left wing. This is not your father's Democrats. This is not Roosevelt. This is not Kennedy. This is a very aggressive Marxist-style left wing. You see that with abortion. Most abortionists, even the people that agree in abortion, and of course I don't, but even the people that do, most of them are against late-term abortions, but not this administration. The administration's even extreme on that. They have no couth at all. This is an extremely left-wing, aggressive. That's why you're not going to see Kennedy be able to get the nomination, because he's not left-wing enough. He's sort of liberal, but nothing like what they want. They want the extreme. The whole administration in there right now is very extreme. It's not your father's Democrats. This is not the same. And that's why you're seeing the economy the way it is. It's a mess. Obama started to have that mess. Trump fixed it in short order. And guess what? In short order, this administration has destroyed it. And that's why the left is very, very mindful of Trump, because they're afraid that he will get the nomination. He will fix this within short order, turn things around, and really make and expose the failures of the left. They don't want that. There's a lot of things they're scared of. That's why they keep doing this to him and keep hammering, because they're afraid that people, they don't want to talk directly about their issues, because if they do, they have no answer. So they know they're going to lose. So they want to make sure that they fool their people that follow them into just Trump, talking about Trump, totally deflecting the reality of what's happening. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump. I don't want to talk about him. It's not a factor. Cross that bridge when it comes to the election. I don't care about him. When I mention issues with the administration, excuse me, I want to talk about what's happening to the middle class. The effects that's happening hurting the middle class. I don't want to talk about a guy who's been out of office for 2.5 years. That's why I've never heard one person tell me they like Biden. They just talk about how they hate Trump. Right, we're 2.5 years late in that, pal. I want to talk about the guy who's in office now. Now, granted, I don't even think this guy is really running the show fully. I don't believe that, and a lot of people don't, but that's for another conversation. Bottom line is, this is the administration we have, the entire administration. In the middle class, I've never seen the economy this bad since I've been this bad, this fast since I've been alive. Okay, we have inflation that's highest in 42 years. Pushing almost 9% inflation. You think this is all going to turn around in the next year and a half, and then it's going to be all roses, and we're going to vote for this administration again, whoever it is, Could be the governor of California, God forbid. You think this socialist regime is going to turn? No, this is what happens when you have a Marxist socialist regime. This is what happens all over the world. All right? This is what happens. The middle class gets screwed. Talking about, I want to help the middle class when Biden came in. Has he done that? Can you tell me one thing that Biden's done to help the middle class? I'm not talking about if you like abortions and woke stuff. That's morality. You know where I stand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the practicality of everyday Joe working a normal job. Where has this administration done anything to help anybody? It has not. As I said, every aspect, everything you do, prices have raised. Now, you can go on less vacations. That's not necessary. You can not have to take a plane flight if you don't have to, but you have to eat. You have to have a car to drive. Some people have to buy another one that can't last forever. Okay? Some people, they have to have a new place to live. These things, you can't get away from it. Okay? Everything is infiltrated with high prices. Real, not just a little, a lot. I mean, like I said, 20% jump on average of food. That's terrible. And just keeps going up. That's not something that's going to sustain. And the middle class is going to get clamped. But yet, Trump. Every time you bring this I'm bringing reality. I'm not bashing. I'm not trying to. I mean, you got a leader that can't even walk. I put a video on today. Can't even walk. Can't even talk. This is sad. This is a leader of the most powerful nation. And you have a man that can't even say a sentence anymore in the dementias. You think this guy's going to have a plan to fix next year and a half when he doesn't have a plan how to say a sentence? Do you actually think his cognitive skills, which are obviously eroding, okay, I've seen it in different people, I know relatives, the man's obviously eroding. You think he's going to get better in the next, let's say he wins 5.5 years from now? You actually think that? You got to be kidding me. This is not bashing. This is not trying to hurtfully take down somebody's reputation. This is the reality of what we have with the left wing. Fetterman from Pennsylvania, the guy's like half retarded. This is the type of people that they're putting in. We're getting in. Why? Why are we voting people that can't even do the basics of communication? Is this what we want for the left wing? These are the type of leaders that we want to put in? There's a reason for that. These people aren't really leading. They're puppets. You can't tell me between Fetterman and Biden that there's real leadership between the two of them. They can't even converse. Sometimes both of them can't even walk. How can you possibly say these people are making a really going to change everything? But yet, when you bring this reality up to deal with what's happening right now, July 7, 2023, all you hear is Trump. I'm so tired of hearing this. They're so pushed on this total ignorance. Total ignorance. And it's scary because those type of people, it push comes to shove and it winds up being Trump versus Biden, let's just say. Okay, because it could. Well, even with everything crumbling, we'll just vote for Biden for the simple reason they've been told to hate Trump. Fully knowing in the back of their mind what's happening with all these, inviting it to be worse for the next 4 years. And what are you going to do then if Biden does win or somebody like him wins? Let's say Biden wins. Let's just say he runs and wins. Okay? Which I think he might if he runs, sadly. Another year or two down the line, in the second term, when he's 5 or 6 years in and things are getting even worse, which they will, mark my words, they will, you can still blame Trump, who back then, at that point, Trump will be a limb. He'll never run again. Who's your next whipping boy? Right now it's Trump because you can use that as a whipping boy, as an excuse to deflect the reality of what's happening. But once the next election comes, and if you win again, and Trump is eliminated at that point forever, because he will be, and that's fine, whatever, then who's going to be your next excuse? When you're 5, 6 years into the administration and things are collapsing around, what's going to be the next excuse you're going to use? Can't be Trump anymore. What's it going to be? So this is the Trump Deranged Syndrome. It's ridiculous. There is no point to this. All right? You just don't want to deal with the reality that's happening right now, that you have a leadership in this country that is the worst I've ever seen since I've been alive. The worst started with shutting down the pipelines the first week the guy was in. And guess what happened shortly after that? Gas prices through the roof. I mean, just one thing after another. The border, this, that. One thing after. Then first it was Trump, and then went to Putin, COVID. One excuse after another after another. You're going to run out of them at some point. Your leadership is failing this country in every way, and you can see it by the week. I know friends who are struggling terribly financially. You got kids and stuff, they're struggling terribly. All right? This is not funny. They don't care about Trump. They care about now putting food on the table for their children. Wasting your time talking about a dude that might not even be significant. Another year and a half, he might not even be around. Is wasting your time, my time, and coming no solution about the problem that's there right now. So I'm tired of hearing every time you bring up a reality of what's happening, Trump. I just don't even want to talk about that. That's not even in the subject. That is a losing way to have a debate. And that's why, as I said before, and I'll wrap it up, very rare do I hear any of the left wing. When people voted for Trump, they love Trump for what he did. I've never seen one person say they love Biden for what he's done. They just hate Trump. And it was, it started out the first couple months, okay, I could put up with that. And here we are 2.5 years and the same shit. And it's going to be the same thing next year until the election. 3+ years in, Trump. The same nonsense. Time to give us reality. We have a lot of problems in this country right now. Financially, socially, morally. A lot of things going on. All right. Donald Trump is not the president. And he hasn't been for 2.5 years. He may never be again. Deal with the problems right now. Because if not, the future of a lot of middle class is going to be very, very, very bleak. And that's a reality. All right? That has nothing to do with Donald Trump. That's a reality. We need to deal with the problems now and stop deflecting and wasting time on people that have nothing to do with what's going on right now. It's my talk. It's Rick here. Have a great night. God bless.